Hello.
Hi, welcome. We are Astrid Pizarro, the natural, and I am LFG, Lauren fucking Goodnight. And
Great way to start.
and straight up in here with Jay White. Jay White discussion. Yeah. And man, I'm so glad we're able to be here for you, and you're able to hang out with us while we talk about one of the most
But
piece,
he's a main event. You
bitch.
can at least stick to the main event. Jeez.
Yeah, you could have, stick with us at least until then, because you don't even have to hear about Jay White's fantastic performance until the end of our discussion. See, there we go. Perfect choice.
And then we
Perfect
got
choice.
Carl. Hello, beauties. My name is Carl. I drink Dr. Pepper. What a good debut episode.
What's up? So the most uh, uh the most everything of everything's this show tried to be.
Yeah.
AEW Collision is a third broadcast show for the brand. It started today, not 30 minutes ago. And to say that it was going to garner controversy and that there was controversy from the start surrounding it would be a very big understatement.
Yeah.
Um, in the days leading up, we found out that CM Punk would be headlining the show and be one of the anchors in the show. And we he has been running his mouth and running it and running it and running it. Hi, voice. What's up? The biggest, brightest, most golden voice amongst us. And he just kept talking and talking and talking. And so if we keep talking about him, we're going to lose focus of what the show did right. So AEW Collision is going to, in essence, if this is the blueprint, come across as a wrestling, like a wrestler's wrestling show, something between ROH and WWE, not something between like ROH and AEW, because AEW is a whole other being at this point, and Collision almost doesn't feel connected at all. But the wrestling was fantastic. So what did you think of the CM Punk bit? What did you think of how that sort of
I mean, we already
started?
expected him to like say something. We just didn't know, and what was his gonna be his like limit to say it like that. I guess because of the situation. So like right from the get go, you're expecting him to come up with like certain lines to like throw some shade at them, and one of them was like, "Oh, somebody calls me that the one is it one bill Phil."
One Bill
Uh,
Phil
so he's like,
and
"I'm the true article in a world of counterfeit bucks," and I went, "That was it." Okay.
ooh, is that it? Yeah, it's
Oh,
like that's cute. That's cute. It
yeah,
is
it was
what it
that,
is.
or the other part when he also said like anybody that expected me to apologize, I'm sorry that your favorite wrestlers are softer than you think, and I'm like, great, okay.
Do I
It
create
just
one?
he talks for too long,
He
it
talked
said
for
a
too
bunch of
long.
nothing.
And
So
it deflated the show before the show had a chance to inflate.
yeah.
Uh,
That's Joshua Joseph saying it here. Totally thought he brought some dope matches and big hits. CM Punk is sitting down already enough already with him. Yeah, I felt the same way. Like
yeah.
I felt like I would have opened with a promo from him. I if I would have limited him to maybe 10 minutes. or maybe
Yeah.
a little bit less. I feel like he took too long to get to his point, which I didn't think there was a point really at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
For
he
real.
all around the bush, and he just showed like he had a bag, and he's like, I have in my bag here what I won from that dog collar match, and unless somebody pins or submits me, like this is still mine. But he didn't show out what's in the bag,
Nope.
and like I said, a little bit of nothing. So I'm like, this is not what I expected from the punk that I know, but okay. But I did love the Bucks reaction to this. They posted on their bio on Twitter of like, if this was 2008, we would have had an usher that says counterfeit Bucks made already by now. And I was like, I love that response to that though.
Oh,
So
Christ. Um, One Bill Phil is a nickname. You go, oh, damn. Okay. Joshua with the
it's
burns.
a the finisher is a nickname you give yourself when your friends won't give you a nickname and you really want one.
Hell no.
Ah,
Hell no. Damn.
yeah.
So honestly, like, I mean, AEW is for the gays. They showed out with Elton
Yeah.
John as the opening theme song.
Yeah.
Saturday night is all right for fighting. Really? I mean, happy
Yeah.
pride. I feel seen.
Yep.
I feel seen. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for real. It works. It works well. And if the show hadn't opened with Punk yammering on, it would have been perfection.
Yep.
Absolute perfection.
That's what Ed is saying. So if he's one Bill Phil, can I give him to a charity so he isn't wrestling a wrestling world
Shit.
anymore? Jeez.
What was it my girl said? Quit wanking on the track and put the lotion in the basket, Phil.
I like how we both reacted at the same time when I went, eh, and you said an eh like a couple seconds later. I'm like, I love I'm not the
Yeah.
only one.
I just
I
it
feel
was
like,
more it was more fun making fun of him than it was like
yeah,
listening to him be a dipshit and try to get people to read between some stupid ass lines. I
yeah.
mean, w- he didn't say a single word against Adam Page.
No, don't
I
touch
mean,
Hangman Page.
that's
Worst out of
because
them all.
yeah, if he had said a single fucking thing, that man could have
Yeah.
walked. Oh, Jesus.
Yep, and I like how he kept pointing out the word professional and professional wrestling. That's what he kept like highlighting. Like,
Mhm.
sure, Philip, let's go along with it for now.
Yeah, we've been down that road before, in fact. We've already done that. We did that a couple years ago. Is Blackpool Combat Club and Danny
Yeah,
Garcia. I've
yeah.
already
The
done
one
it.
thing that I hope they do more with the show, and I think it's what TK is alluding to that he'll do sometime soon, will be like dividing the roster then and keeping some people to Collision and some people to Dynamite since they're both 2 hours. Because to me, it doesn't make sense to have people in both shows and then taking away from people that could have had the TV time to gain experience. Like somebody like a Sky Blue, who we saw not only in Dynamite, but we saw her tonight. And it's good because especially in her hometown tonight, getting such
Right.
a reaction and getting that experience, I think this is what I'm hoping that would happen sometime later. Just divide everybody at least, please.
Absolutely. I This is going to be interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out to the extent that I'm deeply invested without actually like having stock in the company or someone who works in the company. And I'm not sure that that kind of thing is smart. At this point, everyone seems obsessed, and that promo took the obsession right out of me. That and the nothing burger of an ESPN. Shit, we're still talking about Phil. Why are we still talking about fucking
Enough
Phil?
about Phil. Let's go to the
Enough
next
of Phil. What the fuck? Right. Okay. The next was oh god, it was Buddy Matthews versus
No, we had
sorry.
Luchasaurus and Warlow first.
Was
That I
that
remember,
first?
like,
All
yeah,
right. Luchasaurus
yeah,
and Wardlow for the title, for the TNT title.
yeah.
And it was big meaty men slapping meat. and Christian Cage doing what Christian Cage does best, being an absolute piece of shit. And I loved it. I loved it. It was fun. Every
Yeah.
Wardlow match is fun. Uh, I'm so sad to see his reign over. I
Yeah.
don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about it. Although I love seeing a belt on Luchasaurus. I met him ages
Mm.
ago. He's super cool and like really sweet. And I really hope that he carries the belt with some sort of honor and maybe kicks the
Yeah.
shit out of Christian Cage.
Yeah, so Josh was saying it. Warlock was fantastic. He's really becoming a phenomenal performer. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it was, even though I missed most of it because of the stream I was watching was being glitchy, but the parts that I saw, it was, Warlock being, his, doing his great performance, but at the same time having Christian becoming a distraction here in any way that he could, in any time that he could,
Yeah.
to be honest. And at that one point, he just hit Warlock with the camera, and that's when Luchasaurus pinned him. I honestly thought he was gonna
Yes.
kick out. So when we got the 3 count, I was like,
I
"Well,
thought
that was
so too.
it."
I thought so
Yeah,
too. That felt weird. Like there was
yeah.
something about that. Like, did he not get the shoulder? What's going on?
I
But
may have to
that
look
could
back at
just be
it,
a
but yeah,
testament. That could just be a testament to how good an actor Wardlow has become in the ring.
yeah,
And that'd be
and
pretty
yeah.
great. I mean, ooh,
Yeah, and as George says, his Swanto was Jeff-esque. Yeah, and after this,
yes.
my favorite part was having Christian celebrate and taking the title as if he's the
That was
champion,
so
and
fun.
just with the turnbuckle, and Luchasaurus putting Christian on his shoulders, but they're still celebrating with the title as if Christian is the champion, which I thought was
So
right on point.
funny.
As he would take credit for something like this too.
Course.
But
Of
yeah,
course. Little rat bastard. Love him. It's what he does,
yeah,
and he does it so well.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun match. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think it should have opened as opposed to, someone talking. I always think that unless you're opening with the head of the company, then
Mhm.
opening with anything other than action, specifically belt action, is a bad call. And we all sort of saw that he made a bad call because that could have opened that could have opened
Yeah,
the show.
yeah.
That would have been such a rad ass way to make Luchasaurus look really cool and not like his name is Luchasaurus. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think TK would have opened with just being like, "Oh, this is the first episode of Collision. Like, thank you for the support," as he always says, kind of thing. I would have
Exactly.
preferred something quick and easy like that, and going to the TNT title match and just leaving. And Josh was saying Cage won that belt. No, he did not. But no, having TK announcing it,
I mean, he
having
was
the
holding it
match.
at the end of the day. I guess he did win it.
Oh no, please no, let's not start this.
Why not?
But yeah, but yeah, I think I would have had just Punk do the match and not do the promo at the beginning. I think that
Yeah.
would have saved a lot of time and would
Yeah.
have been like I guess not an awkward kind of opening to it, but we're in Chicago. They had to give them as much Punk as possible. So
I suppose. And everybody showed up for a nothing burger.
yeah, and as Joshua says, love Lucha, but he did which will set up them feuding for it, and I'm here for that. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Something that I could see happening later on.
I always want to see more of Wardlow, not for the same reason that hi Chris. Not for the same reason that like a lot of people want to see more of Wardlow. No, man, I like his wrestling style. I like when a big suplex guy does it safely. Like looking at Brock Lesnar, he doesn't always do it safely. When you look at Brian Cage and you look at Wardlow and you see them doing power bombs and suplexes safely, then I'm invested.
Yeah.
Um, I got lots of shit to say about that kind of thing. But what'd you think? How did that one ring with you?
I just like I said, I just like kept thinking I didn't think that Luchasaurus was gonna win it right there and then right when I see your message saying is he gonna lose and I'm like I hope not and then I'm like I hear 1 2 3 I'm like are you kidding me, Lauren? Did you know this ahead of time? I think you did
Nope.
and you didn't tell me. That's not great. I was like,
No, no,
"No." I feel like the
no.
thing I feel bad is, like, I feel like Warlow ends up winning the title and then he loses it, like, I don't wanna say random, but, like, in a way it feels random when he loses it because it's something
Yeah,
that I was not expecting to happen in the Collision episode, you know? So,
yeah, absolutely. I wonder if he's okay.
let's see. Well, I guess we'll know Wednesday? I
We'll
don't know.
know Wednesday or Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, and
Lesnar
Parrish,
throws to Cage's
he says
slam.
Lesnar throws to cage slams, a slam that had to be protected by the giver, while a throw is hoping the bumper is able to bump on their own accord. There you go.
Fair, 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 super fair.
Yeah. Right after this, we had the Hops interview. He's talking about having a new chapter and being able to like now be a part of the Owen Hart Cup tournament that's coming up soon. So it's nice to see even just a quick little moment of having him announce it as well there.
What did you think of the way that they are integrating QT Marshall and the QTV concept that's based on TMZ,
Okay.
the the gossip TV show here? What how is that ringing with you?
I feel like it's like cringy, but at the same time that's how TMZ is. So it's like you can tell they're basically doing the research and doing the job right, and that's how I see it. Because I'm like I see moments of that like they laugh about stupid stuff. I'm like that was not funny, but okay. But it just like it reminds you of TMZ in that way. It is of like they have their humor and the way they show things up and they present them on TV, and you're like okay, but you just watch them because it's cringy in that way, and that's all you could do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it seems it's the one bit that really doesn't feel like it fits
Yeah.
almost. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it fits, and that's weird. That hits different. Not
Yes.
in the good different. Not like that hits different. No.
Yeah.
This is not in the best way. But that's
Yeah.
just me being a stick in the mud, I'm sure.
It's you being a fan. You have a voice. Use it.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. We're sitting at the end of our day going, come on. Please
And
don't suck.
remember, AW is the alternative to WWE. No comment about that one.
Yeah. Occasionally we are getting some real WWE stuff showing up these days, and I don't know
Yeah.
why. I haven't figured that one out yet. For all of the psychology I can do with these weirdos, I haven't been able to figure out that nonsense yet.
That's true. Well, next up, we have your favorite match of the night, I think, maybe. Is it? I think it was. Maybe.
You
It's
fucking call
true.
it then.
Next up after this, we had Buddy Murphy Matthews versus Andrade. One thing that
Oh,
bothered me here, the
shut up.
commentary guy, I think it was Kevin, if I'm not mistaken, he kept calling Andrade something wrong. The Iduro and then
Mhm.
Andre, and I was like, no, it's Andrade. It's not that hard. And I'm like, if you don't know how
Yeah,
to say it, at least have somebody else say it. But he messed it up the first time around because he called him something other than Idolo. I think it was like Idoro or something like that. It sounded so weird. And then it was Andre, and I'm like,
that
and then he
really
said it in English just to like correct himself. Andre the Idol. I'm like,
mm-mm,
no, that
mm-mm.
doesn't help me either."
No,
That really
that's
bothered me.
that was
Yeah.
upsetting. That said, it was a fucking rad ass match.
Yeah.
It was
That's
so good.
There
What
you
in
go.
the
Even Joshua
world?
agrees. Best match of the night. I just didn't like
It
the part
was.
of like them stopping so much because of their injury stuff and having like the medical team come in and interrupt it. And the people got quiet because people weren't sure if it was real or not. And you could hear the silence from the crowd as this is happening. And I think like it took a little bit too long for them to pick back up. But I feel like once you did, it was great. We had Andrade, that's how you say it, Andrade doing the
Andrade
figure
el
eight.
ídolo.
There you go. Perfect.
Andrade el ídolo. It's not that fucking hard.
Yes, but I love having him using the figure eight to win the match. Chef's kiss.
I was
Beautiful.
like, love is real.
Yeah.
The straights will be okay. It's like, okay,
Um,
the straights will be fine.
Yeah, but I love that figure eight. That was nicely done. I like how he went from the figure four, and it took him a little bit before he did the figure eight, basically waiting for that reaction. And once he got it, people were like really hyped for it. I loved it. I really did. Um,
Same, same.
as Joshua says, I hear what you're saying, Astrid, and agree. But after all those big spots, had to take a lot of the out of them. I wish I could take out all the like spots. I would have done with just the medical team kind of checking up on them the first time around the way they did,
Right.
and them going, "No, we're good. We can keep going," and then leaving it right after that. And
Yeah.
I feel like that silence kind of took me away from the match for a little bit. I'm like, are we gonna continue? Is this gonna get canceled? What's happening?
Right.
How long is it gonna take for them to pick back up from this? So that was the only moment that it kind of disconnected me a little bit from the match in itself. But them performing the match as it continued on, I loved it. Andrade's back elbow, I totally missed it because I know I love Charlotte, but she doesn't do it the same. Andrade does it better. I'm sorry, but he really does.
You're right. You're right. And I
Yeah,
haven't seen it in so long. And that's
yeah.
just seeing it was everything about the match was fun. I had a good time watching all of that match. I mean, I always have fun watching Buddy Murphy. He's Buddy Matthews. God damn it.
There you go. It's not just me.
It's not just you. I
Yeah.
still mess up on Brian Danielson a lot. So
As Josh was saying, that cartwheel swanton off the apron, that was very nicely done as well. I loved it. The other thing that really bothered me was when they turned off the lights. I feel like that's a TK thing to do of like whenever something happens, you gotta turn off the lights. So they turned off the lights, but it took a
yes.
little bit too long to
It
turn
took
it
two.
back on. And I'm
Yes.
like, who's coming out and when are they gonna come out? Because it's taking a little bit here. And then we had Brody in one corner, Malachi in the other
Oh,
one
yeah,
as
but
Andrade's
Malachi
trying to shake
looked like
hands.
a fucking demon, though. He just
Yeah,
looked
that
up and it was like,
makeup.
"Ugh."
Yeah,
It shouldn't have I mean, it's makeup that anybody could do. Why does it look
yeah,
so unsettling on him?
yeah. Uh,
So,
I don't
just
know.
mwah.
It
Although it
works
was
either way, so
way.
I love it.
The problem, of course, is that it just took too long. You're right, it took too
Yeah,
long for them to go through. Um, man, Man, I
yeah,
I I just think he's cool. I think
yeah.
Malachi Black is cool. I like his wife, I like his kids. I think kids he has cats, and he has a lot of cats.
Kittens.
He has, like, so many cats.
Yeah.
Um, he, cool wife, cool cats, probably lives somewhere, very chill, uh great gimmick, a gimmick that shouldn't still be creepy,
Yeah.
especially with all we know about, behind the scenes and how makeup and hair and
Mhm.
smoke and contacts and everything else, how all that's done, it shouldn't add up to still be creepy. And the House of Black still adds up as creepy.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it.
Yeah. But we don't know
That's
what's gonna
energy
happen
right
next, so
there.
that would be super interesting with Andrade
I
and Bluff So what
know.
I love
And
that they left you
seeing
like
Buddy
that cliffhanger
lose.
there. Yeah, and that
Seeing
cliffhanger
Buddy
there.
lose is
Oof.
fucking weird. I love it. I love it. I love anyway.
And, Josh
Anyway,
was
it was
saying it
really
was
good.
a Chicago Center. People should be just happy they were mugged during the blackout. It was a United Center, 10 scary places. Yeah.
No. No. Maybe. Not wrong,
I
but
can't
not
say
right
anything. I'm not
either.
from there, and I haven't been there either. So I'll
I
just.
haven't man, I've been through Chicago, but I haven't been to Chicago. Like it's like I've been through Detroit, but I haven't stayed there, that kind of thing. So, nah, man, mm-mm.
Yeah.
But people say it's bad. People say Cincinnati is bad too. It's like which one's worse? Are they both in the same state? Oh, I'm feeling real ditzy this late. Never mind. I am
Joshua,
feeling real ditzy.
I have many events. Trust me. Just keep an eye.
It's oh,
Yeah.
today, this damn show, everybody like made their entire living waiting for this show this week, it felt like.
Yeah.
And so the wrestling lived up to it. Okay, next
Mm.
match. Was it Sky and uh, Sky and
Well,
Tony.
no, we had the Scorpio Sky video package. So that's what you were going with.
That's right.
Um, yeah, I just hope that this is like Collision's the opportunity for him to shine again, because I know he's been like nowhere to be seen for quite a while now. And he even said it in the video package. I'm been waiting for that perfect opportunity. And I love how in the video package is just so much of his career so far, and being is like, oh, the first, AW tag team champions, the face of the revolution, the TNT champion,
Mhm.
and like showing how much he's done, so like what he has been there. And I think it's just a way of like telling us, he's done this already, he could do so much more. And I just saying, hey, Scorpio Sky is alive. Yes, he's pretty much alive at the moment. um
Yes.
yeah, just hoping that's the opportunity for him to shine a little bit more. And even the video package, they say they call him as like the present and the future of the company. And yeah, I feel like he definitely needs that spotlight. So I'm hoping that this is that platform for him to do that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's such a dynamic performer. I enjoy him when I see him, and while he's not a performer I miss all the time, like I miss
Mhm.
Christopher Daniels. I don't necessarily miss Scorpio Sky. I miss Ethan Page to an extent, but he's on all the time now, so like that
Yeah.
need is kind of lower. And we know, Christopher Daniels does a shit ton of match direction, a shit
Yeah.
ton of camera direction. So it's like he's there in spirit with all of
Yeah.
their matches anyway. So
Yeah.
it's so
And
weird to think about that. It's like the SCU were these underdog
mhm.
MVPs of AEW.
Yes,
And
as I said, he's in Daniel's head of talent relations. Yeah, he is. I was
he
just
is.
watching All Access this past week, and yeah, they showed him as like the Young Bucks coach and directing them during the matches and things like that backstage.
Mhm.
And you can see how involved he is because he's sitting next to TK as they're directing the Dynamite when it's happening. So it's interesting. I know he's been more than anything. He competed in Ring of Honor from what I've seen recently. Hasn't been often, but that's the only place that where you've seen him in, like when it comes to AW television. So if you miss him, I would recommend going back and watching a little bit of Ring of Honor whenever they tell you ahead of time that he's gonna be there, because it's not always, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of his matches in like the Impact back catalog as
Yeah.
well. Uh, I think that was the last place that he showed up before, like the last one of AEW. I know I'm a little mixed up about it because I saw him at House Rules.
Mhm.
He actually was at House Rules, whipping asses. It
Oh,
was very nice. I was
there
very
you
proud to see him.
go. Here, Corey,
Hey,
for you. Here to
Corey.
hear what Lauren has to say about Sky Blue in the main event. We had a good time in our wrestling Discord. We are in.
We're all
Uh
part of
oh.
the Tom Collahue
Yep.
community, and Corey is just a big bright light in our little group of shiny people, and it's really great. Uh, yeah, trust me, when we get to the Sky Blue match, I will be commentating respectfully.
We're almost there. But next up, we had Tony Nese in the ring, and Spark Mark just talking. He's like, "I'm shutting down Collision. This is gonna be group training now." And then ended up being that he gets interrupted by Miro of all people.
And
Um,
we got redeemed, baby. It
yes,
was
we really
time
did.
we got redeemed.
Yeah, I definitely miss Miro. He's one of those people that I miss having on a weekly basis as well. So I'm glad
Yes.
he's back. And just like
Yes.
with Scorpio Sky, I'm hoping this is a show that we see him being, one of the people that's the foundation for this show, and seeing him on a weekly basis, at least on this show. Um, but yeah, come on, Ed. Hey, look, it's all the XTV guys in one place. Such a hater. I'm
Let me
telling you.
think actually. Let me go down the list.
Too
Yeah,
many.
Miro, oh, they were hot for Miro. And
Yeah.
after Miro was there, they were hot for everybody else.
Yeah.
Like they exploded. They were a very happy crowd. They were ready to just leave the arena and light things on fire for no reason. Wait, that's Philly, isn't it? Eh.
I wouldn't know. Um, but right after
I
that, we just had a quick video of Punk's return, and in the voiceover, he just says that he has things that he's left to do, and he's going to finish them. And that's why I said we got a Punk at the beginning, Punk at the middle, and Punk towards the end as well. But now we really went to Lauren's favorite match of the night. It was Ruby Soho and Tony Storm versus Willow and Sky Blue, the hometown girl of Sky Blue. She really got a big reaction from the crowd as well, being in her hometown there in Chicago.
That
Um,
was so nice.
yeah.
I remember when we first saw her show up, it was another Chicago show, and TK came out and was like, "We have signed you." I was just like, "That's kind of amazing." On Twitter, she was pretty happy, and it's always wonderful to see, another, queer icon coming up. And not only is she coming up, she's seriously good at what she's doing. She has grown so much in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like looking at a completely different wrestler
Mhm.
from behind. Um, I'm sorry.
I was waiting for
I'm
that.
sorry. I
Waiting for
can't.
that moment.
Okay. In all honesty,
Wait, I can hear it
God,
in its voice. Bad Lauren, bad
bad
Lauren.
Lauren, bad. Um, and deserved, 100% deserved.
We'll leave Lauren a moment to calm down.
For real, the match was it flowed well.
Yeah,
Everybody worked well with each other. The ending was correct. Like the ending felt,
yeah.
the way it should have. The whole thing. This is the most organized that I have felt the
What is-
Outcasts. This is
yeah,
the most entertaining I have seen Willow in a while, and this is the most together that Sky Blue has had it since she started. It came
yeah,
together into, a 3.5 4-star match, which for the only women's match on the card is pretty good.
yeah.
And most of the matches were 3.5 4-star matches, in my opinion.
Yeah. I love the detail too that we had a Willow and Sky Blue with like matching gear. They had the blue
Yes, they
gear
were
as well.
so cute
I loved it.
too.
Yeah.
I love Willow. You don't
Yes.
understand. To have her be the strong belt holder is
Hmm.
just like, I know it was a mistake. I know, or a rewrite,
Yeah.
because I know Mercedes got hurt. But my God, she's so good at it.
Yeah.
She's so bubbly and cheerful. She's a great brand ambassador. And seeing her with Sky Blue, who I think will also in time be a very good brand ambassador for
Hmm.
AEW. I'm I don't know. I like it. I like them as a
Yeah.
duo, and I like the vibe, especially when they're whipping Tony Storm's ass.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I loved it. I loved even parts of like Ruby is taking over Willow and she's like scraping her face on the ropes and she's like, "We were best friends." Like, I hate when people say that in wrestling though, because I mean, just because we were teaming up for a couple of weeks doesn't mean you were best friends. I get
No.
friends, but not best friends. It's like that's a little bit much for me. But I know I feel like they had a chemistry. I just from the get go, I kept thinking with Willow as champion and Tony as champion, I think either a Sky gets pinned or Ruby gets pinned. It has to be one of the others two. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. Of course, Ruby had to get pinned by Sky Blue. I feel like they're giving her a lot of momentum with like the way that she performed the night Dynamite, but then the win again tonight as well. Who knows where it will lead, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. As Carl saying, Mama Blue slaps were good and glad they used her for that. Less is more worked for me. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah,
Well done
absolutely.
there.
She she's going to be pushed to the moon, and I don't have a problem with that. There are a lot worse people on the roster to push to the moon, and I'm thrilled. AEW is for the gays. Let's go.
Right after this, we have Ricky Starks with his promo talking about being part of the All-Win tournament as well, just announcing it. So far, we had him and Hobbs tonight announcing their entry. And right after that, we had a video package from Jeff Jarrett talking about going against Mark Briscoe in a concession stand brawl. Tell me you feel better about this than I do.
I feel indifferent, and wrestling should never make me feel indifferent. Indifference is boredom, and we are sitting on the precipice of full indifference to this entire storyline. And that's not fair because I'm sure the storyline has been in the works forever. And it's really cool that we got to see Karen Jarrett be a bitch. And it's really cool that we got to see Aubrey Edwards put someone in a submission. And it's so cool that we got to have all this fun. But Jeff fucking
I'm not the only one. And even Ed goes, "How is Jeff
I feel
effing
old.
Jarrett still relevant in 2023?"
When I look at Jeff Jarrett, I am 20 years younger than him, maybe more. And I look at him and feel old.
I don't
Not
blame you
like
though.
not like, "Oh, I'm the one who didn't take care of my body," but like I'm getting older as I have to tolerate more of him. Oh,
No.
I'm sure I'm gonna eat these words someday, but I'm gonna say them for now.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I that's the only thing I'm like, I don't know if I'm looking forward
No.
to. I don't mind seeing Mark on my screen, but Jeff Jarrett, I had to think about it a few times. And yeah, this is one of
No.
those that I'm like, concession stand brawl. I
No.
don't know how I feel about this gimmicky stuff, but sure,
Don't
let's
care
go with
about
it for
that.
now.
Don't care about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does have a serious WWE feel on that end. I'll straight up say that. It felt so WWE.
Yeah.
I know Karens
Uh,
get heat. Ooh, they do.
mm, yeah. Right after this, we had the Acclaim coming to the ring, just for doing a collision scissor me with Tony Schiavone there too, who was
That's
having a
so
lot of fun while he
cute.
was doing it. I love his reaction as he did it. He looked at himself like I can't believe I just did this on live TV. And let's just see him have fun though. I feel like their entrance took longer than the whole segment in itself, but
That's
either way,
fine. That's the
Schiavone had
Acclaimed.
fun, so that's what mattered. It was
Yes,
fun.
I'm a huge Shivani fan. I'm into him having a good time with wrestling because as of this past week, things have not been about everybody having a good time. So to see him, you know, smile was really nice. At
Yeah,
least someone's having a wonderful time.
yeah.
The wrestlers seem to be doing great, in fact. Oh, I have a story about this.
Mm,
So, my girl's friend came in during the daddy ass portion where he had it on the back of his
mm.
jacket, and the person like didn't know anything about wrestling and said, "Daddy ass, that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen." And both she and I just like
No.
that. Just the joke has evolved so much over 20
Yeah.
years. How do you tell somebody, "Oh, this guy was Mr. Ass, and
Mhm.
then he had 2 kids, and Danhausen calls them the Ass Boys, and so he is Bill Ass or Daddy Ass, and they go to the Ass Ranch, and
The things you can only see in wrestling.
yeah, yeah,
That's the best way I can explain it.
Danhausen made his
Yeah.
career. Danhausen made his second career. Beautifully done. Absolutely insane. He owes that man.
Yeah. But
Anyway, sorry.
um here we go to Ed's favorite part of the night. The main event. It was Samoa Joe, Jay White, and Juice Robinson versus CMFTR. Um I don't know. Well, you had something you wanted to say before we start really talking about the match in itself that I like you wanted to discuss. So
Oh, right. So, no, Ed. No, no. This is
you gotta
not
give Lori a
here.
moment. Yeah.
Give me a sec here. So, the new t-shirts for CMFTR are very nice. The art is fantastic. The fact that they used a massive pink triangle on it when none of the men are queer or have any skin in the game really pisses me off. You don't understand. This was okay. Okay. So, in Nazi Germany, it wasn't just Jewish people who were being carted off and sent away and labeled. It was also Romani. It was also handicapped people. It was also people of pretty much any color. And it was also queer people. And in the camps, queer people, and in the ghettos, queer people were made to wear a pink triangle exactly like that, flat side up. And so seeing it there, ooh, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. This does not feel right to me. This doesn't like this does not say happy pride. This does not say allyship. This says I am either an idiot or I'm doing this wrong. Sorry. It that's
No, I'm glad
such
you
a
said it though.
specific it's such a
Yeah.
specific uh piece of history. It's such a
Yeah.
specific visual, and someone who is that tuned in politically, as politically as Phil is, he
Mhm.
should have figured that one out and seen it as being not a great call. So, who made that call? Who made the call to use
Mhm.
fucking like Auschwitz imagery again in wrestling? How many times am I going to come on OLE and talk about Auschwitz imagery in wrestling? What the
Yeah.
Christ?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I can laugh
Yeah.
about it now. I
No, no,
I
I'm
like
glad you
want
said it. Good. I liked having the background story because being like not everybody has the knowledge, and it's nice to hear you saying it out loud to like everybody, so like we all understand and get a background to this because I didn't know, and then you told me, and I was like, oh, I want to hear what your what your take is on this being part of the community because I'm not. So yeah, I didn't know anything about that, so I was like, oof, that it's yeah, that doesn't feel right.
if we saw it on Bowen's gear or on Sky Blue's gear or on Kiera Hogan's gear, or Nyla Rose's gear or Sunny Kiss, it would make sense. Or Aubrey, it would make sense
Hmm.
because that would be, honoring those of us who
Yeah.
died, who were, taken out of
Hmm.
history.
Yeah.
For these guys to use that imagery is tasteless,
Yeah.
especially during
Yeah.
Pride. Fuck you during
Mhm.
Pride. Fuck you. AEW is for the
Yeah.
gays, god damn it. Fuck you.
Yeah. I'm just really surprised it happened, to be honest. Like you said, and like Phil is one of those like you see him always with even after the show, I saw him a picture of him holding up a sign. I think it was like protect trans kids and things like that. So just like to see that it happened, I was really surprised. I wonder if it's somebody like in their family that belongs to the community. But either way, it feels like if it's not you, then I wouldn't do it. That kind of thing to me. Like if you're not part of the community, it's not the same thing. And like you said, you gave already examples of people that are in the community. So it would have been okay if they wore it. It just doesn't feel the same if they do. So I thought it was interesting that,
Yeah.
of all people, Punk would be having something like that. And even FTR who supports the community as well. So that's another,
Yes.
all three of them have big supporters and allies. So it's really surprising to see that. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it, but and I said it's saying it's on the merch shirt, so a lot of people are going to be wearing it as well. From tonight and moving forward.
It I hope I'm not the only one who saw it and who saw that it was a bad call. And, pro wrestling tees, the people who make the shop AEW shirts, they don't pull anything. They just don't. It always sits there and it's hot garbage and it continues to be hot garbage.
Yeah.
And this will continue on as well. And I
Yep.
am I going to be the OLE historian?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think you
Like the
should be.
like the
Yeah.
touch grass historian? Like y'all know the wrestling history and I'm just out here fucking driving cross country and meeting bears and touching grass.
Yeah, I understand because I explain a lot of my culture as it happens, like so as I was saying, it won't be me. I just do wrestling history. I don't remember a lot of wrestling history, but I like to do kind of the same thing. Like whenever my culture is on screen, I explain things as it happens. So like whenever like Zelina started with La Chancla, I might explain that what it means for us as Hispanic kids having that on
Yeah.
TV. So like you won't be the only one explaining things around here as well. Trust me, you're not
Good.
alone in here. It just be a little
Good.
bit different, but you won't be the
That
only
is
one.
a-okay. Man, Zelina's a
Yeah.
fucking queen. She's the best
Yes.
thing about the WWE 110%. I wish she would break away and come do stuff with Alistair, but I also understand that she's got to
Mm,
be the hostess with the mostest. She's got to absolutely keep her faction on their shit.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yep.
I just love to see her happy. I love to see her make money. I love to see her
Very,
have fun.
yeah, very true.
I feel the
Um,
same way about her that I do about her husband. Anyway, I
but
just
no,
want to see her happy.
overall, how did you feel about the match though, and the main event in itself?
um, Overall, I thought it was a solid match from beginning to end. Again,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there weren't bad spots. There were several excellent spots. I thought the close calls at the end were compelling.
Yeah.
I found the high spots compelling. I always like watching Jay White. I always enjoy Juice Robinson. The
Mm-hmm.
crowd was so hot for Punk versus Joe
Yes.
that it brought me right back in. I was like, maybe
Mm-hmm.
no, okay, here we the fuck go now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was good. It wasn't Punk that kept it good, but it
Yeah.
was very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
leader forever, I wouldn't say so. I'm sorry, I'm a Prince Devitt bitch.
No, I think he's teasing Ed more than anything
Oh,
there.
teasing Edmore. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
You good?
the head of the
Same.
secret head of the Jay White Fan Society.
Yeah.
We understand, we know. But okay. So this is how you know I'm bi. Jay White was fantastic in that match, and he wouldn't have had to do a damn thing. I'm so sorry.
I don't mind you there. I really
I
don't.
have
Yeah.
I have met this man and I
Mm,
am talking some truth. He did very well. He didn't even have to show
mhm.
up. He sure didn't have to show up with his shirt off. And I'm sorry. This is inappropriate, but it's also very late and I have done a lot of broadcasting today, so you're just going to have to deal with the wrongness of this part.
Oh my god. Carl, hey Ed, when is the next JY fan club meeting? Sorry, I had to miss the last one because of work.
Oh, at some point, I'm gonna have to ask you why. Like, what is like your deal? I have to know. I does is
Same.
have to know. No,
Yeah.
for real.
I don't
I
know.
have to find out. Like, you don't have to tell us here. We can have an episode of something where you and I sit down and discuss why this is. But I'm very interested to see what your answer is
I
because
second that. I want to know why too.
like, I've looked back in all the stuff I know about him, and yeah, me too, Turnbuckle. He's boring over
Whoa.
I highly disagree, and, I wonder how many of his promos you've actually watched. I wonder
My
if you've
God.
seen him do, a tournament and how into it he gets and how seriously into his character he is. Um I've made him break
Mm,
character twice. I personally made him break character twice. So sorry,
I
man.
got 20 hours of wrestling and work next week. I don't want to hear
Dude, you're going to a live show. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Yeah,
it.
Corey's going to be at Raw. I'm super excited for him. I think he's going to have a great time. He might very.
That's for you.
That's like 2 promos. Good job at seeing 2 promos. Of course, they're those ones. But seriously, he is a very good wrestler, and I hope that you can at least see something of him as a heel, as a slimy little heel. I mean, that's the point of him, is he's meant to be a strong style slimy heel. So, maybe it's working. Maybe you are the ultimate Mark.
I'm like, I'm
Oh,
reading it.
see? He agrees. He agrees. It says he's
I was waiting for that part. I was gonna say it was too positive.
God damn. But yeah, Juice Robinson taking the pin was the only
Yeah.
logical person to take the pin, because White can't take it. He can't look weak right now. He's going to be set up as a major like heel faction head. And so even if he's not winning, he kind of still has to be, hard as fuck. Uh,
Yeah,
let's see.
and you also have Joe as champion. I don't think you want him as champion to lose FCR champions as well. And
Right.
it's Punk returning, so it only makes sense for him to be that person to get that pin there.
It's Juice who has to look at the lights for 3 seconds. And I felt bad because this was a great performance. He
Yeah.
he was like a rabid wildebeest running through everybody, and it was so much fun. And of course, we got
Yeah.
the normal fantastic performances from FTR. They never fail to be fucking FTR every time you see
Yeah.
them, and that's not a bad thing. It's not.
Yeah. No, and as we said, we're in his hometown. It's a debut of Collision. You expect Punk to win somehow. It just a
Yeah,
matter of how
of
it would
course.
happen, basically. So, nothing new on that end. But I love having that combination from the Shatter Machines, to Punk, and then having that for the win as well. Um, yeah, I feel like pretty much. And the only thing will be like, as you can see with the timing, you can tell Punk was protecting most of the match because there was a lot of FTR more
Yes.
than anything there, and waiting for that moment for him and Joe to have their interaction when they did. So it was very limited on that end of it. I said they're holding off on that for a little bit later. But like I said, it's just something expected, a predictive one that kind of way we knew Punk was gonna win. And he did to end the show. But yeah, overall, how did you feel about the debut of Collision tonight?
I don't see it as a bad thing. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I
I
feel the same way.
will continue watching. Absolutely. If it
Yeah,
was just on the wrestling alone, I'd give it, 4.5 stars.
yeah,
There were promos throughout, and that's fine. And there was talk, and that's fine. And, everybody showed out and looked great. Uh, yeah, 3.5, maybe 4 out of 5. I would definitely
yeah.
continue watching. And yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. I'm interested to see where it goes. And I found out that I am not compelled by CM Punk, and that surprises me. I
Alright.
thought I would have more of a visceral reaction, because earlier in the day I did. Mark said, Mark Talks Wrestling, was in on my stream and said, "Hey, so I know you love CM Punk. You gonna talk about how much on your show, on the show this evening?" I'm like, "I'll talk about it right now." But now it's just, after Collision, I'm not compelled by him at all. I don't really have a lot of feelings, other than I think his taste is garbage. I think he is an okay wrestler. I think his brain meats are a nightmare. His politics are perfection, but Holy crap. Holy no. No, 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 no. The t-shirt was the final straw for me, and now I'm just indifferent.
No,
How'd it go with
I agree.
you? Like the overall feel, the rise up what's left, the muffin, the brilliance and the beauty on top when it is presented as a whole dessert. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have done with a little bit less of Punk at the beginning, but at the same time, I understand why it happened because it makes sense as his hometown, his return as well. But other than that, I like that it was mostly wrestling, like the little video packages that we got, the interviews, even the acclaimed segment that were really short. Um, but yeah, I feel like that was a great balance there. So I really enjoyed that. So I like that it was a lot more wrestling than talking more than anything tonight, which I liked. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. And as Corey's saying, which is I was gonna say next, thank you, Corey, for helping me out. Let's switch Lauren to affiliate. I tried to be there during my time off. Yeah, if you haven't checked her out, um, she's streaming a lot of games lately, especially Kirby. I've seen. So if you haven't yet, you can go follow Lauren and subscribe if you can to her Twitch as well. But aside from your streaming, do you have anything else going on at the moment for you, Lauren?
Right now, I'm still. Huh. Oh, thank you. Yes. By all means, do follow me. I'm Lauren Goodnight on Twitch. I do a bunch of streaming. I generally it's game stream, or there's been some just chatting, but right now we're running through Katamari Damacy reroll and Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We're doing the Big Suck Kirby series. And that's what I'm focusing on a lot right now. Right now it's the wrestling, keeping my relationship together, trying to figure my health out, and streaming and getting to build an audience and hang out and be good friends with everybody and do amazing broadcasts like this with amazing people like you. So
That is an AEW is a big suck. Just kidding. Yeah, right.
AEW is not the big suck. Thank you.
um, for me, you can find me again on Tuesday doing Taking Over with Ed. I know it's the next 2 weeks are going to be NXT Gold Rush, so that's going to be pretty exciting for the show in itself. I know I wasn't there last week, but you haven't checked it out. It's on YouTube now. You can find the show with Mark that was replacing me for one night only, I must say, Ed. But yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday for that. But other than that, you can find my NXT reviews on Women's Wrestling Talk over the weekends. I think they publish them on Sunday. So that would be my big thing. And the other big thing that I got will be at the end of the month, I will be doing the Behind the Magic Woman of Color in Wrestling panel in Miami Beach at Florida SuperCon. So if you're in Miami or going to Florida SuperCon, definitely a good way to hang out and meet other people that talk about wrestling as well. Uh, and we shall see. He brought good numbers. Hey, what is that supposed to mean? But no, I'll be there on Tuesday. Don't worry about it. But
I am so
no,
excited. Do you know if that panel is going to be recorded or broadcast at all?
I know what the other four editions were. I don't know if it was live, but I know it's on in Cat We Trust is her on her YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the older ones, I will have to ask if they will do a live stream or it will be like a VOD kind of thing for later. But I'm hoping and probably like I would say like 50% positive they'll put it on her YouTube channel later as well. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful because I definitely want to see how that turns out. That's a
Yeah.
big deal for me too. I love it. I love
Yeah.
following how that particular aspect is changing and morphing because that upon occasion gets reflected in my very small minority too.
Mm.
So
But no, I want to thank you too for taking time out of your evening to be here with me because we both wanted to talk about the show, knowing that it was the debut. We were just looking forward to watching and discussing it. So if you want to do it with the family here in OLE, for like I said, for us on OLE, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow on Twitch. You know, we have something going on almost every day at this point, which is pretty exciting. I know tomorrow we'll be busting out with Alex Kane. So if you can stop by at noon for busting out with Bobby and Parrish and watch Alex Kane show up there. Corey says just drop the follow. Yeah, I totally forgot. And then Carl, amazing show, ladies. Much love to you both. Thank you for stopping by here.
thank
More
you,
than anything.
Turnbuckle.
I got called from one of the bosses that we're gonna be rating back the ref in just a few minutes. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight with us to discuss Collision. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
It was wonderful. Thanks, guys. You all be good. Have a fantastic weekend and enjoy wrestling. We are